Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode 155. Today is the 25th of October, 2017. I am Adam Moody, if you've never seen me before, and with me is Hernan and Bradley. So we're missing a few people. Two of the other guys are out today. Marco is up to something, I believe. He's got an appointment or something he had to go to. And then Chris, I don't know, is probably like traveling around the world today or something. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because we've got three travelers in the bunch. Hernan, Chris, and Adam. Those MFers, they're never home barely. And I barely ever leave my home. So
awesome. Well, we'll go through. Obviously, I introduced myself, but Hernan, how's it going, man?
Hey, Bradley, did you added the cameraman thing to the Hangout?
I did.
Okay, cool. Hey, guys. What's up, everybody? It's really good to be here. I'm back in Buenos Aires finally with a kind of a better setup. So I'm excited to be here once again.
Awesome. Bradley, how you doing, man?
Peachy, busy as crazy. I've got so many projects going on right now. It's ridiculous, but it's an exciting time. I can tell you that. I'm really stoked about just all the stuff we got going on. Various projects. Some of you guys have heard some of them. Some of you haven't, but just a lot of really cool stuff going on. So, and I'm happy to be here. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to steal your thunder for a minute, but guess what next week is?
Whatever could it be?
Our 3rd year anniversary for Hump Day Hangouts, the official one. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and so on top of that, we definitely got some cool stuff. Some of it's giveaway, some of it's more than that, but definitely if you're watching this in the next week, I highly suggest you show up. That would be beneficial to you. So looking forward to that. Even
those of you that just catch replays and stuff, we usually give away some pretty cool stuff on our anniversary episodes, and it's our 3rd year anniversary, so we're going to be giving away some pretty cool stuff, but you have to be here in order to receive or to win, in other words. So make sure you're here next week. It'll be a good one. We encourage you to be here.
We do, and I'm writing myself a note. You know what? I agree that sometimes I know there's people who are like halfway around the world who are watching us, and like, I don't watch webinars at 3 in the morning. So you know what? We'll work something out. There will be at least something for somebody who's watching the replay in the first week after the replay. I think that's safe. So we can limit it 7 days. We want to hook somebody up. I know for a lot of people, the time zone is the issue. So
that's good.
Yeah, like
unacceptable. I don't care what time it is. They have to be here live.
You have to
be here. Hardcore semantic mastery viewers. So. Bradley mentioned projects and the best. He didn't say the best self-journal, but we've talked about it. We've been telling our mastermind members about it. Yay! Boom! Got Hernan his.
Here. Look at this.
Yeah. I like this though. Now I feel like I'm.
I got mine right here.
There you go. Boom.
I didn't have enough goals, so I had to copy out of their PDF and print some more. So, no URL for that, or I can paste it in later. Go grab it. Do yourself a favor. It's a great planning tool. After that, I wanted to talk too about something. So I, if you don't know, do a lot with funnels. I'm a ClickFunnels certified partner. And one of the products that they sell is called Funnel U, like Funnel University. And it was pretty cool. We signed up a while ago. I think it's 60 or 70 bucks a month. And it's really neat because you sign up and they go through these funnels, other people's funnels that they break down or they explain their own. And so it's kind of like a walkthrough. It's only like 10 pages, but it's cool. It shows you screenshots of it. And it just breaks it down really simple so that you could like go recreate this or do it on your own. And we've been getting that, I think, for like a year and a half. And they also give you like PDF and some other stuff. So it's really cool. So one of the things we were talking about was, man, what could we do, that makes the mastermind better? And that immediately came to mind. And we've seen a couple other people that do it. And it's just a way of taking the information that we have and just making it easier, more condensed and better. And so we're really pumped about this. We're going to be getting the first edition of the newsletter out to our mastermind members, TBD, but really early in November. So we're working on that. And I'm excited because I don't know about you guys. When you've seen these in basically different subscriptions you have, I mean, do you find newsletters? It obviously depends on the content, but did you ever use one and you're just like, oh my God, like this just paid for it by itself, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that receiving stuff in the mail is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. Number one, and it's like an old school kind of thing when you're getting, a newsletter with all of the good stuff, because we're going to be delivering a lot of the good stuff to the members online. But having something, a piece of paper where you can actually write notes, plots, sit down on a Sunday morning if you want, or write down your thoughts. I think that shutting down the screen and going out of it, so that you can plot and you can actually focus. that's the main point of the newsletter, to deliver really high quality stuff that you can do for your business, so that you can pretty much turn around, swipe, deploy it, and have results. And that should pay. Like the main point of the mastermind is, to turn into a high ROI basis approach, where if you apply some of the stuff that we will be sharing, of course, online, but if you apply only a part of it, and if it is the newsletter, I think that you will pay for the mastermind for the several years to come. So,
and to clarify, well, first of all, by show of hands, no, I'm kidding. You guys post on the event page, Kindle or physical? Like when you read a book, do you prefer a Kindle version, like a digital version, or a physical version of the book? Personally, I way much better prefer a physical version of a book. I still buy Kindle books, but I tend to not read them after I buy them. Whereas if I buy them in like an actual paper physical copy, I end up reading them. And to me, it's just a lot easier to read a physical book. It's something about reading on a screen, other than articles and stuff for work related stuff. Anyways, personally, I prefer physical.
Well, I think it's good for reference material too, that you can mark up. So like if you're, especially this type of stuff where it's like, I mean, I'm not even talking about ours, you guys, like I'm talking about other people's we subscribe to, or we used to, or we're going to, that you can go through and be like, oh yeah, like that's great, but I don't want to do it like they did it. I want to, bolt on this thing and do that and like draw it out or something on the side. Yeah.
And so, as far as like Hernan said, getting something in the mail and having a physical product being delivered every month from us, to me is pretty cool. Like I like getting stuff like that in the mail. Like Perry Marshall has a newsletter that's really good, and that's something that I've subscribed to for some time, and they're good. I mean, it takes time to go through them, like a good 20-30 minutes to read through it, but every month. But it's worth it in my opinion, because the insights are really good, and that's more just like his thoughts, which are still. He's a good marketer, so I like to read his newsletters as well. But what we're going to be doing is like actionable results. So every one of us every month are going to have our own input, our own contribution to the newsletter on what we're doing in each one of our own respective businesses, or for Semantic Mastery as our role in the company. We're going to be sharing what we do or what we're doing that's actually working, and it's going to be like condensed, like a Reader's Digest version. In other words, we're going to take like the actionable points, and we're going to give like like this is what we're doing, this is what's working right now, and how we're doing it, and that's it. There's going to be no fluff, no filler. It's just going to be straight actionable content every month, and that's going to be like people's like guide to like their field manual. You know what I mean? So in other words, take that, implement it, and start making money or improving your results. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing. So we're really excited about that as part of many of the upgrades that we're implementing into the mastermind, and that's just one of them. So
yeah, definitely. So if you're interested in that, sounds good. I guarantee you, I mean, one, we love it, but we're getting some good feedback, and it's going to be worth it. If you want to join the mastermind, check it out. I'll pop the link in here in a little bit. But if you're new to Semantic Mastery and you're wondering, what the hell we're talking about, then that might not be the right place. And we realize every week we get some new people and they're not sure what to do. And so what I ask you to do is to check out the Battleplan, the SEO blueprint. I'm going to pop the link up here in a little bit. Along with a code, you can save $75. It's a hell of a deal. Hernan put it together with the help of the team, and it's a great resource. And for $25, it's a no-brainer. So also, if you don't yet have your free account at serpspace, please head over there, serpspace.com. Grab your free account. We're working on some more tools. There's already a ton in there, along with a couple of freebies. And then you can get your done for you services there. And we got some awesome stuff coming. Yeah, I think that's all I can say right now.
That's enough, Adam. Zip it.
All right, damn it. Go get your account. And then also, if you got any questions, support.semanticmastery.com is a great place to start. We love answering your questions here, but sometimes there are some that come up, again, from time to time. We don't mind, but we might just refer you back to support.semanticmastery.com, where we've got some charts and breakdowns of some of the more complicated things that we explain. And I think that is about it. Do you guys have any other topics before we dive in?
I'm good.
All righty. So people can rate me. I am starting the Toastmasters Club. I went to my first meeting, and I now am going to be working on my public speaking. So
did you? You didn't do your icebreaker speech yet, did you?
No, but I almost let the opportunity pass me by. They said visitors or guests are free to speak, and so they did table topics where they just give a couple topics. And inevitably, my blood pressure went up, my heart rate went up, and I said, "This is ridiculous." The reason I came here was to speak, and to get better at speaking. So I stood up and I told a great story about how if people could fly, it would bring world peace. And I talked for 1 minute and they liked it. So it went over well. And I think I'm going to go back, not just because they liked it, but you know, it's a really cool environment. Super nice people, very good feedback. I mean, I was a visitor and they gave me feedback. One lady wrote down some notes, said, you know, interesting topic. It was humorous. That's a great way to break the ice and get started and then engage people. Anyways, highly suggest if you're interested in public speaking and leadership and communication, go check it out.
Yeah, just to expand on that briefly, because I've been in it now for about 2 months, and I actually got elected and voted in as the, or I guess that is elected, nominated and elected to be the VP Director of PR Marketing for my chapter, which is crazy because I just joined. But which is going to open a lot of doors for well, obviously to start with, I'm going to be promoting Toastmasters stuff, events, but it's going to give me a foot in the door with media outlets like the Washington Post and some of the more local newspapers and some TV stations, which is awesome because imagine how good that will be for our marketing agencies. Think about it, guys. And the Toastmasters organization, guys, it's dirt cheap. It's like $80 for 6 months or something. It's ridiculous. And it's a phenomenal training, and it is a very encouraging environment for learning communications, public speaking, leadership development, sales, because sales is communication. And so there's like so much benefit to going to a Toastmasters organization. And I found it to be incredibly valuable. And, you know, the thing is it doesn't cost very much, but there's a lot of work in order to go through the process. So it's, you know, you've got to commit to it or else there's really no reason to go. And so, and what's really cool is they just launched a new change to their course, like educational program. And it's the biggest change that they've made since the 1940s. So we're talking over 70 years they've been on this particular like educational track, which is mostly all paper driven. They have a website with some training stuff on this website, but it was like mostly paper manuals, and the evaluations were done via paper and that kind of stuff. And so they've really updated everything to, and they're rolling if you go to toastmasters.org/pathways, that's their new track that's rolling out in my district or my region. It's coming by October 30th, which is in the next 5 days. But over the next 6 months, they're rolling that out across the country, the rest of the United States. And then obviously it's an international organization. And by 2018, it should be rolled out across, or by June of 2018, it should be rolled out across the rest of the world. But the new educational track, Pathways, is a much more custom designed solution where you can pick and choose like the modules or the paths that you want to go down based upon your own specific needs. And everything is tracked online now. The training portals are amazing. It's just a really, really good organization to get involved with, guys. I highly recommend any of you guys that are doing any sort of communications or public stuff at all or sales, I would highly recommend that you get into Toastmasters because it's just a great organization. So how am I doing for the PR director already?
See, boom.
I should can that and send that in, say, evaluate this.
We got this recorded, so we can.
Awesome.
It was 3 minutes and 13 seconds. You had two ums. No, just kidding. All right, let's get into this, guys.
All right, let's do it.
Oh.
All right, so Ben's up first. He says, hi, guys. You mentioned last week that throwing the kitchen sink at a drive stack powered up while still works fine today may leave you vulnerable if Google decides to penalize that down the road, and that instead, what you do is mass produce one-page Gsites behind the drive stack. Let me click. Why is that? Oh yeah, too late now.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I don't know. I could maybe do it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if I could do that really, really quickly, but nah, that's all right. I'm not gonna worry about it. Next time, remind me, Adam, beforehand, if you don't mind. It only takes a minute to set up, but anyways, let's see. That you would do is mass produce one-page Gsites behind the drive stack. When you mass produce Gsites, do you have them linking one to the next the other way Peter Drew shows you how, within the first one pointing to the drive stack, or do you just point them at the drive stack and spam them to high heaven? It really doesn't matter. At least, to be honest with you, it shouldn't really matter whether. So like what you're talking about is doing like a little link wheel with the drives, excuse me, the Gsites, so that one Gsite can link to the next, and then link to the next and link to the next, and then they either all or some of them or one of them points to the actual target URL, your primary target URL, which would be the Gsite from the drive stack. That's the method that, and just so you guys know, I'm in the process of building out a case study that is specifically using only, or exclusively using only RYS drive stacks and Peter Drew's site builders, Gsite Blogger and WP Creator, and in some of his video tools. And I've got 2 projects that I'm working on for that as case studies right now. More of that will be revealed later, but you guys are going to see what I'm able to do with just those tools. So this doesn't even include a money site or a maps listing or anything. So it's pretty, I mean, well, maps listing may be part of it, but it's not part of what, you know, there may be a maps listing as part of like the overall campaign, but more on that later. So just know, I'm testing various configurations right now, Ben, with that. So, and all I can tell you is just test. You know, don't be afraid to test stuff like that, because remember, you're going to be building links to a Gsite, guys, from the drive stack. So it's okay to experiment with different linking methods, because you're not targeting your money site where you have to be a lot more careful, right? There's a lot more risk with experimenting with a money site. So we always have suggested since day one that you set up test domains that you're going to be using, like test projects, stuff that you can monetize if it's successful. So what I mean by that is, like, you can set up an affiliate campaign, or like if you to test stuff on, or you can set up a local site that you can use as a lead gen property if it's successful, and just test it with those properties, something that you can monetize if it's successful. And if it's not, it doesn't cost you anything but the time. And really it didn't cost anything, because even though it may have cost you some time, you might have spent time on it, you gained knowledge and experience from the testing. So you got to think of it that way, right? And so it's either going to be successful and you can monetize it, make some money, and you learn methods that now you can duplicate and repeat for other projects, or you're going to be unsuccessful and then you just realize you just learned one way that doesn't work, right? Or what not to do, if that makes sense. So when you're, but in this case, Ben, since your target URL is the Gsite inside the drive stack, feel free to experiment. You know what I mean? Because it's not a big deal. So I don't have an exact answer for you as far as whether to use like the link wheel option or just to link directly to the money site, or in this case, the Gsite. But, you know, I would say just test. Now, in the next month or so, I should have a more definitive answer for that. Okay. When you mass produce the Gsites, do you, oh, look, excuse me. That was the actual question. So, all right, Elisier, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I'm sure I did. What's up, guys? Question from the Battleplan. How many backlinks should I order in a link package in serpspace for an RYS stack and a syndication network? Should I add a tier? And if so, how many backlinks on that, GSA or contextual? I'm going to leave that one up to you, Hernan.
Yeah, sure. It actually depends, Elisier. I mean, I think that we said over there how many backlinks you should be ordering, since we have it all divided, if it is a new website, or if it is an aged website, or if it is a YouTube video, right? If it is a new website, you usually want to boost it a little bit initially, right? So that's what you want to do when you're trying to generate the entity or generate some authority initially. So it's just a small package would do, right? But then when you're doing an aged website, an established website that has a couple of years, or you can do a YouTube video, then you can be a little bit more aggressive in terms of the amount of backlinks that you're sending to that, right? So have that in mind. That's what I would do in terms of the amount of backlinks. But I'm pretty sure that we actually tell you how many backlinks you should be using when it comes to the boosting, depending on how aged is your website anyways. So
is this working now? Are you guys seeing my screen now?
I can see your screen. I don't know about the top picture.
Let me just check it in the other page now. I just want to see if it's working.
I see your entire desktop.
Yeah, and are you seeing the picture in picture too?
No.
No? I was trying to do that well. Hernan, talk some more.
Okay, so basically what you want to do
is go get the Battleplan. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, but it should say there. I mean, the main point is that if you're building links to a drive stack, you don't have to be afraid, right? As of right now, that's what I mean. As of right now, you don't have to be afraid, and I think you got it, Bradley.
I did.
I think you got it. So as of right now, you don't have to be afraid, right? But if you're building backlinks, for example, to an ifttt network and the website is completely new, then I would say to keep it easy in terms of the amount of backlinks that you build to it. So
there we go. I think I got it.
Yeah, I can see your picture. Is that what an application, the ManyCam application?
Yeah, it's just ManyCam. It's a paid version of it, but yeah, it's just ManyCam. All right,
cool.
so if you guys, if this is not coming through correctly, just let me know, guys, and I'll switch it back. All right, and I'm talking to the audience, guys. Just post on the event page if it's not coming through, okay? All right, otherwise I'm just going to leave it. All right, let me lock this on me, though, still. Okay. Okay, next question. For RSS Authority Sniper, do we need the same amount of content as we need for an ifttt network? I don't know what you mean by that, because RSS Authority Sniper, you shouldn't need any content. You need RSS feeds. That's it. So I'm not really following the question, because again, for RSS Authority, and again, look, I don't use RSS Authority Sniper. I use Rankfeeder. I know, actually, I didn't use RSS Authority Sniper only because I could always get much better results for finding RSS feeds, related content feeds, by doing it manually. I always got much better results. Although I know Lisa just updated RSS Authority Sniper recently that supposedly added some additional, I guess, made it better. I have not played with it since she updated it, though, so I don't know. But Rankfeeder is the service that, you know, I guess she sells the RSS Authority Sniper as the front end product, and then the Rankfeeder is like the add-on, which is really that's where the power comes in, is Rankfeeder. And so typically I would just set up my Rankfeeder feeds or build those out doing manual RSS feed finding on my own, or have a VA do it, because I get much better results that way. And I'm not bad-mouthing the software. I just get a much better selection of RSS feeds when I do it manually than using just what is returned by that RSS Authority Sniper software. But I just want full transparency, guys. I use the Rankfeeder is really where the power lies, and so that's what I've been using, is Rankfeeder for building those like co-citation feeds. And so anyways, as far as content, you don't need content. You just need RSS feeds, related feeds, and then whatever links you want to build co-citations to, right? So that would be any content links that you have, like so blog post links or web page links. You can add Google Maps URLs, Drive Stack URLs, press releases, anything at all. Static URLs you can actually put in the Rankfeeder feeds as a sticky item, which is what I recommend that you do, because that's how you build the co-citation. All right. And remember, you can also add your own feeds, like your blog feeds, for example, Web 2.0 feeds that you have. If you're using syndication networks and you're publishing content, you can take your Web 2 feeds and create co-citation feeds where you include your Web 2 feeds. Because remember, if you post content to your blog, it syndicates out to your Web 2 sites. If your Web 2 sites have RSS feeds, some of them do. Blogger, Tumblr, WordPress do. Some of the other ones do as well. But you can add those into other Rankfeeder feeds that you create, so that you're creating co-citation to your articles that are posted on Web 2 sites that have links pointing back to your money site. So you end up doing like 2-tiered co-citations, which are really, really powerful. So there's just a ton of stuff you can do with Rankfeeder, guys. It's an absolutely great SEO tool because it's simple and it doesn't require you to produce any more content than you're already doing. It's just a matter of collecting related content feeds and then building out those Rankfeeder co-citation feeds, okay? Okay, Roy's up. He says, hey, guys, where can I get a good HTML template to use with Peter Drew's Google Site Generator? Not too good in HTML. That's a really good question. You can download HTML templates, Roy. Just go to Google and search for, free HTML templates. Look through. What you're going to want to look for is Google Site templates, though. And it's going to be for the older sites. And if you can't find any there, I know you can go to Upwork and hire somebody to just to code HTML templates for Google Sites. And when I say code, it's like, it's pretty simple for those guys. And they can bang them out for you for relatively, for rather cheap, rather inexpensive, because it's a simple process. Okay, I just use the default ones because I'm not using the actual, although those Gsites sometimes rank for the keywords. I'm not looking at those as like traffic generating sites. I'm using them specifically for link building purposes. There is absolutely some benefit to having them optimized for conversions, which means like a better design and that kind of stuff. But for me, I'm just using them specifically only because I don't want to take the time to go through, set up templates and all that stuff. If I had more time, maybe I would. But right now, I'm just using them specifically for link building. That's it. And so I just use a default template. Okay. Okay, Mohammed's up. What's up, Mohammed? He's been so active. By the way, Mohammed, in case you didn't realize, because I didn't get a reply from you, I replied to your, responded to your questions about that you submitted via the mindset about mindset mastery series. So in case you missed that, check your email because I replied to you the other day to the questions you submitted. And by the way, guys, I added to bradleybenner.com button that will take you over to a Google form to ask me questions about the mindset series that I've been doing. In case you guys are interested in asking any questions about that, I will reply to those as time permits. And by the way, that is not a place to ask me marketing questions. If you ask me a marketing question, I'm not going to reply, period. That's what this is for and other groups are for. It is specifically for mindset mastery stuff. I highly encourage you guys to go check out some of those videos. That's on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BennerBradley. I don't think it, I think I said the other day, Bradley Benner on the, but if you just search YouTube for it, I'll come right up. And I've got a bunch of mindset videos. I just did another one this week on there. And anyways, I encourage you to go check them out. If you have any questions, you go to bradleybenner.com and submit your questions via the Google form, and I will get to them. What I may end up doing is just doing some supplemental mindset videos where I answer those questions. I will not reveal anybody's name who submitted the questions. I'll keep it anonymous. But I just had another couple questions submitted today that were really good, and I'm probably going to record a separate video addressing those two questions either later this week or the beginning of next week. Okay. So Mohammed says, hey guys, I realized the tasks I perform in tools like LRS and PSP can be performed by VAs too. How do you guys have your VAs access them? Do you buy another copy? Yes, Mohammed. That's what I do. Okay. If it's a VA that you've had already established in a relationship with, then I don't mind buying like a copy or a license and just sending it to them for them to install on their own machine. If they've proven that they're a valuable employee that has, you know, or contractor essentially, that's stuck around for a while. If it's a newer VA though, then I recommend that you set up a VPS and install the software on a VPS and give them remote login access where you can control whether they're logged in or not. Like, so in other words, in case they quit or they don't show up to work and you have to fire them or whatever, you can just revoke their access to the VPS and you still have all of your software intact on your VPS, in which case you just change the passwords, the login details, and then you can hire another VA. Okay, but that's what we do. You know, some of our VAs, I just buy the software and send it directly to them because they've been with us for, I mean, shit, we've got some VAs that have been with us now for like 5 years. Deddy has been with me for 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Rusale, one of our team leaders, she's been with me for at least 4 years, at least 4 years. So, I mean, we've got some VAs we've had for years. And so those are the type of people I don't mind just sending the software to, but otherwise use a VPS, okay? As I mentioned last week, I'm trying to rank videos and rent them out. And this week I narrowed down the full list of keywords I'll be targeting, but I just noticed that there are multiple keyword variations for the same topic. Do I make one video about a topic like DUI lawyer city and hope that I rank for variations like DUI lawyer city, or would I use the same Twilio number for all of them? Well, that's a good question. Okay, so when I'm spamming, which I'm doing a little bit more of right now than I typically do, but that's because I'm testing some tools and stuff. Usually I will go ahead and target all of the variations of the keyword, even though they're what they're called close variants. And here's the thing, Mohammed, if you go search for your keyword in Google, look at the bolded words that show up in the search results, right? You'll see bolded words both in the meta titles, which are the blue links, and then also in the meta descriptions. And so a lot of the times those close variants are going to show as bolded keywords. So for example, DUI attorney and DUI lawyer. If you do a search on DUI lawyer, attorney keyword should also be bolded because they're synonyms. They're close variants. Also, the plural and singular versions should both be bolded because they're close variants. So a lot of, you know, theoretically, you should be able to just target the one version and it should cover all the variations. However, if you get more specific or exact, then sometimes you're going to get better results because some are less competitive than others, even though it's a close variant. And Google deems all of them the same. They're all relevant or synonymous terms. If you target some of the more obscure versions, that even though it's a synonym, even though it's a synonym, you'll get better results by targeting that specific variation. than you would if you were to target the more general one, if that makes sense. So to clarify, what I always do is when I'm spamming, I will take all the keywords, which if you use Power Suggest Pro, which you do, you just mentioned it, you'll be able to get all those variations. And I just spam all of them and see what sticks. And the ones that give me the best results with the least amount of work, then I'll go target those with the actual, you know, final version of the videos. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, you can use the same if it's for this. If you're going to be driving traffic to the same, or calls or whatever leads to the same service provider, then yeah, you just use the same number. You don't got to switch the numbers up. Okay, that would require a whole lot of different numbers if you were to do that. So just use the same number. Okay. Okay, about the rich plugins, Facebook and GMB reviews, the BB mentioned a while ago. I've added GMB reviews slider right on the homepage. I'm new to Schema, but would I be able to add review schema to the page because of this? If you bought the Pro version, it adds schema already to the reviews. It imports the reviews via API, and then it automatically marks them up with structured data, or schema.org review markup. All right, it's already done automatically. Now, that might be something that you have to select as a setting in the plugin. I can't remember if there's a setting in the plugin for that or not, but the Pro version absolutely will mark it up automatically for you. It's not something you have to do. You might have to enable that setting in the plugin, but it should be there, Mohammed. If you have any questions specifically about it, I would recommend that you contact support, their support, not ours. Okay, contact them, which is, I think, richplugins.com. All right. Great questions, though, Mohammed. Sam says, in a previous Hump Day Hangout, you answered a question about using GMB for affiliate sites. You recommend using the PO box address for your LLC or S-corp. Would you be able to use that same address for multiple drive stacks for different affiliate sites and different niches without much risk for penalty? Thanks. Yes, if all those different affiliate sites are owned by one parent company. In other words, if you have, like, whatever your company's name is, and you're just a marketing company or a digital publisher, which is what I would consider myself as an affiliate marketer. I would not call myself a marketing company. I would call myself a digital publisher. In that case, yeah, you could do it. You could have each one of those projects reference the same digital publishing company as the parent company, parent company or parent owner, so to speak. And that I've never had any problems with that. And I've used the same, corporation or entity for multiple projects like that. And I've never had any issues. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible that it could happen. I've just never had it happen to me in my experience. It makes sense. You shouldn't have to have a separate entity, corporation, LLC, for every single affiliate project. Sometimes it makes sense to, if an affiliate project starts to take off, sometimes it makes sense to form its own LLC for just that one project. There's some tax benefits to doing that kind of stuff. But and you just need a good CPA to explain how you can stack entities. And we're not talking about drive stack entities. I'm talking about corporate entities. There's a way to shield a lot of your money from the IRS if you do that. I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a CPA, but trust me, it's some really cool stuff that CPAs that know what they're doing can do to shield a lot of your money. So there are times where that's beneficial to do that, but otherwise, Sam, I would say no. Just keep everything under one parent company, and when you have a runaway winner, then you might want to form a separate LLC for that. But guys, in the state of Virginia, it costs $100 to form an LLC and $50 per year to renew it. It's simple. It's stupid simple. So it's really easy to do.
Also, shout out to Sam. He was one of the lucky few who got to attend the live Hump Day Hangout in Portland with us. So thanks for being there. Familiar. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's Sam. All right. Right on, man.
Right on, Sam. All right, Tommy's up. He says, hey, guys, I was planning to use GSA to start my link building experiments. Do you have good resources on this? Do you think it is risky to do automated link building like website owners or something? Thanks. Yeah, Tommy, look, it depends on what you're using GSA for. If you're really skilled with the tool, you can use it for like link building to money sites, but I certainly don't recommend that for about 99% of the population because you can really get yourself in trouble that way. We've got just a fabulous link building manager that's been doing it for years. And so he's able to do that kind of stuff because he's a real expert on it. But even so, we typically don't recommend that because it can get you into trouble. Now, GSA can be great for powering up tiers that are further out. So like I would recommend using it to power up tier 2 or tier 3. I wouldn't, unless you're really skilled with the tool, I wouldn't even use GSA to power up tier 1 links unless you're powering up certain links that can withstand the abuse, like, for example, Google Drive stacks. But again, we don't encourage that. We've done it ourselves and had good success with it, but we don't encourage it because we don't know how long that's going to last. At some point, even sending spam to a Google Drive stack could potentially get you in trouble. Right now, it still works, but we don't recommend it because at some point, if it becomes an issue, then you could end up losing those assets or causing penalties type situations. And that's something we certainly try to avoid at all costs. So if you're starting out, I would suggest for using GSA that you would only do it for like parasites, like Facebook pages or Web 2 sites and things like that, never to a money site. If you're going to be trying to power up a money site, then I would only use it out at like tier 2 or tier 3, or excuse me, tier 3 or tier 4. So you're powering up either tier 2 or tier 3 links, if that makes sense, until you become more skilled with the tool. As far as do we have any good resources on this? No, I'm sorry, we don't. People have asked us to do a GSA training for years. I never used the tool in my life. I hired a manager as soon as it was, I used to use SC Nuke years ago, and it took me forever to learn how to use that tool, and I never enjoyed it. I hated running that tool, but I did it. And when GSA came out and kind of replaced, I mean, SC Nuke has always been around, but it became the go-to tool. I hired Dedia from Upwork, and this was like 6 years ago. And he's been with me ever since. So I don't have to run the software. So I can't tell you how to do the training. I know Hernan used to run it, but I don't think, Hernan, you run it anymore at all, do you?
No, not that much. Just for the things that we are always talking. Like 2 years ago, you can rank solely on GSA backlinks, and I know that there are some guys right now that they're doing it too. But the reality is that when you're trying to, it takes a lot of babysitting. GSA takes a lot of babysitting when you're running, I don't know, a dedicated server with 6 VPSs and 6 instances. You know, it takes like your entire day just to run the tool. You know, yeah. And that's why we ended up outsourcing. And yeah, like when it comes to focusing on those tasks that give you the most results, I decided that that's not one of them anymore. So.
Yeah, and I was going to say, as far as resources for this, make sure you do your homework if you are going to start doing this yourself. That if you're going to start doing it yourself, that's fine. And I think there's value in doing it. The one place would probably start with the GSA forums. And there's a lot you're going to have to pick up. But if you don't know things about like which proxies you should be using, what kind of lists, can you build your own list? How do you build your own list? Where do you scrape your stuff? And what you're doing, start really reading up on that. I mean, that's a rabbit hole, so limit your time, but make sure you educate yourself before you do anything. And then start asking around. There are places you can go. I just pulled up the forums. I haven't been there in probably a year. And there's people asking, hey, where can I go to get somebody to do this for me? And, there's different services. So I'm not saying that that's going to be the right answer, but do some education on it first and then make your choice.
Yeah, and last thing I want to say about that is, Tommy, be careful because GSA can get really expensive to use. We don't actually pay for the servers and stuff anymore because, well, I think we still have one server that we pay for, but because Dedia went out on his own and now he's a contractor, he's a service provider for us. But for many years, he was an employee, and because of that, we were paying. We had 3 dedicated servers running, 2 for. I think it was 2 for link building, and 1 that was full-time for scraping link targets. And so dedicated servers plus the proxies plus the CAPTCHAs alone, like we were spending, I think, anywhere between, and in the content, because you got to have content sources too. And so all of that together, we were spending between like $1,200 and $1,500 a month. Now, of course, we were doing a ton of link building stuff, but it becomes really expensive really quickly. GSA is not an inexpensive tool to run. So just keep that in mind. It sounds great up front, but once you really dig into it and you have to do all the things to make it really effective. You have to get all the add-ons and all the other services integrated. It ends up becoming quite expensive. Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I think that it also depends on how many links and how much of a competitive market you are in, because the reality is that the more links that you need to build at any given time. Right, you're limited by the bottlenecks of the technology that you're using. If you're using a shitty VPS, that's going to limit it. If you're using low amount of proxies, that's going to limit it. So there's a lot of limitations, and the more it will feed as much as you throw it at it. It will build links. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree with Bradley that it can get expensive. It can get really expensive really quickly.
Robin's up. She says, following up to my question in episode 152 with some more detail. I have a client that wants to monetize 26 videos of 30 minutes, each of 30 minutes, with 3 10-minute segments in each show. 26 videos, each 30 minutes long, with 3 10-minute segments in each show. Okay. From a community TV channel. Originally, I broke the videos down into smaller videos, and we optimized and sold YouTube videos to people interviewed on the show to get on page 1 and use on their websites. I've tried ranking the videos as playlists, and that works. Position 1 to 3 on YouTube and position 3 to 7 on Google. Haven't managed to find anyone interested to rent them out yet. Number 1, looking for ideas on how to make money from these video assets. Update, more details requested. The videos are in a financial niche and are educational nature from financial professionals for the general public. The videos originally ranked well on YouTube and Google 3 years ago now. How can we parcel the authority of the videos and monetize them? It's a good question, Robin, because that's kind of a unique situation. I'd have to think about that. Unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit of thought, and it's something that I'm not going to sit here and make everybody watch me kind of twiddle my thumbs while I think about it. Can any of you guys take a stab at this real quick, or are you in the same boat as me? Financial niche and education. This would be something worth having a conversation over, Robin, only because I think it'd be kind of hard to give you any sort of advice on a complicated question like this without having more of a conversation. It's very difficult to do in this kind of an environment.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, I think that there's a lot of opportunity if you take ownership of the entire funnel. Meaning, if you start collecting leads and you start funneling them to CPA offers and whatnot while you try to rent them out, you know. But yeah, I totally agree with Bradley that maybe we'll need to set up a call and see manage.
I'm just a little confused because forgive me, I was writing some notes down when you guys dove into this. But are they saying that the videos are interviews but not they're then trying to sell them to other people?
Well, in my interpretation of the question is that she is interviewing experts in the financial industry, and then she breaks those videos. She basically ranks those videos and then tries to sell them or rent them out to those professionals. So the people that she interviewed, so that they can use it for lead gen and marketing for their own businesses. She owns the content. It's on her channel, but she wants to interview them for content for her channel, but then rent those videos once they're ranked for that professional that she interviewed.
Okay, gotcha. If that's the case, then Robin, I would take it. This is just off the cuff again. I think this, like you guys said, merits some further discussion. But what I would do is take the extra step. Like, don't sell them the video, and because they're probably getting hammered with stuff like that all the time. Sell them leads. If those videos are bringing in leads, build a little funnel. You could do it on a WordPress site and get them the information. If you provide those, if they're in the financial services industry, you provide them with a name, a phone number, and then any or other information. I mean, I can't imagine they'd say no, or at least you're going to have a very high close rate. So that's the way I would go with it. Take that extra step, do the work for them.
Yeah, and like Hernan said, that's not a bad idea, is to potentially use those while you're building out like the other infrastructure, if needed, is potentially funnel the traffic into CPA offers and stuff, financial CPA offers that would, that are relevant to the content of the video. And you can find CPA networks for that kind of stuff, like Max Bounty and like, a ton of them. Just go do a search. Adam, you probably know some CPA offers for financial stuff, right?
Yeah, that and a lot of the big financial services companies have their own. So you wouldn't even, it's real easy. So
yeah, and since you already, like, here's the thing, like, don't get discouraged if you, and this is for Robin, but this is in general too, because sometimes like we get to rank a website and that's the easy part. Then we need to sell it, we need to rent it or we need to do whatever. So in the meantime, you can actually build an asset. You can build a list. If you say that you're having like 26 videos, they're already ranked. You can actually put up a really sizable list. Yeah. And you can put together a really sizable list. And if you're telling me that you have a list of people that want financial services, that's that's earning a lot of money or potential to earn a lot of money even further.
That's a valuable asset.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, because you can sell them over and over and over again, stuff that's valuable, and you can build an entire business around that just for having those positions locked in. And this go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say that's a great idea because, Robin, you could send traffic directly to a CPA offer, and that's all well and good. But as Hernan just mentioned, it's a great, you know, he's 100% on point. Instead, you could send them to an opt-in of some sort to where you capture their email and then send the CPA offer via email, because then you've at least captured their email and you start to build a list of people that have raised their hand and said, I'm interested in financial services of some kind or another. Now you have an asset, the email list, which you could monetize by sending additional CPA and or affiliate offers, or you could sell or rent, like do, what do they call them? Solo ads, essentially, for financial service stuff. Like there's all that kind of stuff that could be done. Having that email list would be probably the greatest asset you could build until you rented them out, if that was your primary model. You know what I mean?
And on the flip side of this, let's say that these are maybe more obvious. I'm going to guess here. I don't think we have to read between the lines too deep here. These are probably very educational type videos, and so not really conversion oriented. And if that's the case, then you know, I would try to monetize these, and I would do what Hernan's saying, even if it's just educational, offer them some more education for an opt-in, something like that.
Yeah.
And then offer them. But also, you know, if you're looking to really sell it and you're having trouble selling it just as a video, you could turn this into, I don't know, you guys could probably explain this better, but I'm thinking some sort of like social media type of package where it's more, you take the branding route with the customer and say, look, you know, we can create all these videos, we can use the transcript, we can post this in many places. It's showing, look how high it's ranking. You're showing your face. You know, people see that you're ranking for these terms. You're an authority, and approaching it that way. And then also working on what Hernan and Bradley were talking about.
I'm going to +1 it because that was a good question, Robin. You know, if
that gave me some ideas. I gotta get busy.
Robin, if you're in the mastermind, I don't think you are, but that would be great for a topical discussion inside the mastermind. If you're not, I would encourage you to join. If you wanted a one-on-one conversation with one of us, you can certainly purchase some one-on-one consulting time where we could provide some more insight, but that's rather expensive. We always encourage people just to come join the mastermind instead.
Yeah.
Get the same level of attention plus input from all the other incredibly savvy marketers in our mastermind. And you end up with a much higher value than just one-on-one time with us. So
I agree.
And we're all as good looking as Hernan, so you know it's win-win.
Robert says, "What is the easiest and fastest ways to get a few paying clients?" Great question, Robert. I'm going to give you two answers. The two quickest and easiest ways I've ever gotten clients. Number one, go to local networking events and sell. You know, introduce yourself, start forming relationships with local businesses. Offer to do some freebie stuff just to get your foot in the door. I typically start with video SEO guys because I can get quick wins almost immediately. Now I use press releases as well. So I do a combination of video and press releases, and I'll give away a first video and a press release, guys. So what if it costs me $200? If I get the client, I'm going to make a hell of a lot more money. So, you know, I usually do a video and a press release now as a foot in the door strategy with clients. I comp it, like I give it to them, say, look, let me prove what I know what I'm doing. And who can say no to that? You know what I mean? So that to me is one of the quickest ways. You can also do the same thing. And I just say go do it locally, because when you meet somebody at a networking event and you talk to them face to face, it builds a level of rapport that you wouldn't get from an online environment alone. And so I found that to be the quickest way. Now, I've also been an introvert over the last several years. I'm much better about it now. Toastmasters has helped me with that. But you know, I don't mind going out and talking to people, but for quite a few years in my business, I didn't want to leave the house. I wanted to sit behind my computer and do all the work. You know what I mean? And so I developed the video email prospecting process, and it works like crazy. It requires a little bit of time to set up because you're going to be targeting on a laser or a rifle approach instead of a shotgun approach, where you prospect individual people with customized videos explaining what you can do for them. And sometimes I'll even do like rank a video for a potential client, or at least in their industry, and then send a video email to them saying, hey, look, I was able to do this in, you know, the last 24 hours or the last 3 days or whatever. I can do this for you as well. But you're speaking to that prospect individually. So it's like a customized video for them. Again, it takes some time, but I had about a 35%. I would always get 3 to 4 responses out of every 10 emails that I sent. It like clockwork, guys. And out of the, if I got 4 replies, I would typically close 1 or 2 of those into an actual sale of some sort of service, whether it was just video marketing or full-on SEO stuff. Like I said, I would typically try to provide results in advance. before asking for any sort of monetary commitment from them. And so I don't mind giving stuff away if it's going to lead to a sale. So again, live networking events probably going to be your best. Go to meetup.com, go to your Chamber of Commerce, look for lead share groups. All those kind of things are great places to start, to get it done really quickly. If you're the type that doesn't like to go out and talk to people, which I understand that's why a lot of people get into online marketing. You can accomplish the same thing using video email. It's just going to take you more time, but it's super, super effective. And just so you know, the video email course, it's in one of our bonus sites or our bonus site. If you've purchased any of our products, you should have access to the bonus site. If you do not, just reach out to support. We'll give you access. The video email prospecting training is in there. Also, you can purchase the video email prospecting training from the serpspace site. If you haven't purchased any of our other products, you can go to serpspace.com and actually purchase the vmail training. Okay. And Adam, you can attest, besides just me always touting its effectiveness, does it work for you?
Most definitely. And I feel like I'm, like cheerleading it. So I try not to do it too much. But I mean, the last time I did, I'm getting ready to fire it up again because I was traveling before the wedding and all that stuff. But yeah, the last time I did it, to reaching out to people in the financial services industry, I sent out 4 and got a meeting with 1 in person. So not bad.
It's an amazing process.
Now, your results may vary. That was definitely, a little bit better than usual, but I generally have pretty good luck. I've done, not luck, but pretty good results. I think I've used that method about 6 times now. I mean, it just works. I just stop because it works. I get what I need and then, fire it back up as needed.
Okay, question from, I'm not even going to try again, from Rosa. I'm going to say that. Have you had difficulties with LRS lately? No, I ran it all week long this week. I've been running that. No kidding. That wasn't me this time. It's usually so no, I haven't had any issues with it at all. If you have any issues with it, again, please contact Peter Drew support, guys. We can't support other people's products. I certainly endorse his products. Peter Drew support is usually really good. So definitely reach out to them if you're having any issues. I am not, but also just keep in mind that if you have you have the login details for that YouTube account. So you can go as long if the text file comes back that shows you the keywords that ranked. Who cares what the URL is? It really doesn't matter because you already know, because you can just log into the YouTube account and go look at the scheduled live events, right? The upcoming, right? From that little drop down, you go to the live events tab, events, or live streaming tab, events, and then you click the drop down and select upcoming. And that's where all your scheduled live events are. And you can go select the links from there. But typically, guys, like I always recommend, I only use LRS to poke keywords. And as soon as I get that text file back, I go over and log into the channel and delete all the events anyways. Because I use the same account over and over and over again, or accounts, I should say, over and over and over again for poking keywords. And I don't like to leave scheduled live events up for all types of various keyword themes, if that makes sense. So the text file that opens up gives you the data you need. You really shouldn't need the URL at all, to be honest with you. And if you need it, you could always log it. Now, again, if it should still work though, right? My point is you don't need it, but if it should work regardless. And so I would contact Peter Drew support. All right. All right, guys, we're almost out of time. I'm going to run through about 3 or 4 more real quick. Roger says, can you talk about how, Dominic, I saw your, yeah, Dominic, I think we may be doing I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. We'll have to talk about that. PDF of the newsletter, guys, for those people.
Yeah, it's under international. We'll be in touch. We don't know yet. Yeah.
All right, we'll work that out. Don't worry about it, Dominic. We'll make sure everybody's squared away that's in the mastermind. All right. Roger says, can you talk about how you use Peter Drew's WP Creator software in conjunction with semantic mastery methods? Yeah, Roger, but I other than I use it for link coding. That's what I'm trying to explain. That's what I've explained about the Gsites creator as well. I understand that those properties can rank. That's great, and so there's certainly benefit to that. But I'm using it just for link building right now, and I'm actually, like I mentioned earlier in this webinar, I'm doing 2 case studies right now using nothing other than Drive Stacks and Peter Drew's products. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I've got 2 case studies right now for going that are in progress with those tools and those 2 things and those 2 things alone. And those results will be shared publicly with everybody because we're going to be doing a promotion about it. So just be patient, Roger. And I promise you're going to see exactly the kind of results and exactly how I'm using those tools within the next 6 weeks or so, okay? Because it it takes some time to get the results, but I've got 2 local case studies that I'm doing. I'm pretty excited about, and I'll be sharing that in the promotion that we do. All right. All right, we're almost out of time. I think we're almost done here. How long till the crowd search replacement is ready, Jordan?
I'm happy to say that's only one of the things. So
yeah, we've got it's available for beta testing. I think it's only, Jordan, unless you're in the mastermind though, buddy, you're gonna have to wait until February because we're not launching it public. We're gonna launch it internally. Well, the mastermind will get first crack at it, and then we're probably we might open it up to just our list before we launch it to the public. But I'm not sure. I know like our public date is supposed to be February, Jordan, so you're gonna have to wait unless you come join the mastermind, of course. So, yeah, right. Hint, hint. And sorry, guys, that's just the way that it is. Right now, we're about to open it for beta testing. I think Monday, possibly. All of you mastermind members, hold your horses.
Yeah, internal beta testing.
Yeah, internal beta testing. But yeah, I think Monday we're going to be ready for that finally. But it's been worth the wait, guys. I promise. All right, almost out of time. Hey guys, was notified too late about Hump Day Hangouts last time. I identified about 600 pages on our site that are very well ranked, and I need to give them the extra boost to increase their positions some more and bring traffic quickly. What is the best way to achieve this? Rankfeeder, any other ways that on our site that are very well ranked, and I need to give them an extra boost?
I got a link for him. We can move on. Hey, Jeff, I linked the podcast. Me and Hernan covered this on the podcast last week. Yeah, so check it out. And if you need more, come back. But also, just for anybody watching and you, about within 24 to 36 hours after a Hump Day Hangout, we have the new page up and ready to go. So if you go to semanticmastery.com/HD questions throughout the week, you can ask a question ahead of time, and you'll be at the first of the line. You don't have to wait until it's live.
Okay, I know we're out of time. Really quickly, the ManyCam thing, it looks like you can now integrate with YouTube and Facebook for live streaming. Would you recommend this over OBS? Don't know because I haven't tested it. Honestly, I haven't tested it. Yeah, just test it. Whoever asked that question, just test it.
No, that was me. I was just curious.
That was you.
I haven't looked at it because it's something I had years ago, and I saw you were using it, and I was like, huh, interesting.
Just try it. I haven't tested it, but yeah, just try it.
Cool.
Jordan, did we talk? I didn't even hear you, Adam. Did you mention that we're going to do a redo of the webinar with Jeffrey? No,
and I meant to do that. So Jordan, thanks for posting that. Everybody, if you missed the webinar or you attended and had an extremely hard time because of all the technical difficulties, we're going to be talking to Jeffrey Smith again. Yes. Date TBD, but it's going to be within a week or two. So stay tuned for that. We've already had a lot of people jump in and check out his course and are loving it. So we're going to this time do it, and it should be much smoother.
Yeah, it's crazy because we had quite a few people that jumped in, even though the webinar was a train wreck, and it was because of technical issues. It was an absolute train wreck, but that happens from time to time. But there were still several people that jumped in. I can tell you the training is fabulous, man. It really is. I can't describe how well he put that stuff together. So, anyways, it's coming, guys. We're gonna do a second like a redo of it, which should be much better next time. So just hold your horses, guys. It'll come. We're still gonna offer the same sort of offer. So last thing, RSS, can we rank a page? So on Rankfeeder, we can rank a page. We'd link just with RSS Gsites HTTP. Well, I can't tell you whether it's going to rank the page or not. I can tell you that it's very powerful, and you can do that with I know Rankfeeder can help quite a bit. It works great for local stuff as well. So I can't answer that because I don't know. There's too many variables. All right. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. We're out of time. So we're sorry for anybody that didn't get their questions answered. We appreciate everybody being here. Remember, next week is I'm not sharing my screen. This weird thing's going on again here.
Be there. We're going to have a bunch of good stuff. So if you're there live, obviously got a chance to win. We'll be talking about what exactly you can win. We're going to have some good stuff. I'm going to tease it a little bit. One of them is going to be at least a mastermind membership for some period of time. We got a bunch of other good stuff. So. And we're going to have some fun with it too. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but whip something up in the next week here, and we'll enjoy ourselves. And we'd love it if you came and joined us, whether you're brand new or you've been watching us for years.
That's right, and it's your opportunity to win some pretty cool swag. So,
that would be cool.
All right, guys, thanks for everybody for being here. We'll see you all next week.
Awesome. Bye-bye. Adios.